We'll be creating this sidebar with a toggle button in React.js. So open the project in VS Code, open the terminal, start the project. So header is a UI component, right? So inside our UI folder, we'll create another folder called header. Create new file called header.js and another file called header.module.css. So this will be a functional component, right? So const header, uh, so this will return a div which says header. We'll export this, export default header. We'll also import the styles, import styles from dot slash header dot module dot css. We'll hit save, right? We'll also move these two files in a separate folder. So we'll create a folder called toast. We'll move these two files inside this folder and we'll fix the import errors. So here toast is inside toast folder, right? And same for the sign up page as well. Hit save. We'll close these files and inside our app.js we'll import our header. So import header from UI header. We'll comment this return statement out and we'll have a new return statement. Return, we'll have a div which has our header component, right? Below this header we'll have another div which has our sidebar. So we'll make this as another component later in this video. So below our sidebar we'll have another div which has our outlet. We'll make this div a flexbox, right? So class name d flex and hit save. Now inside our app.css, so d flex display flex. We don't see our header and our sidebar, so we need to log in for that. So our password is test 1 at 23, right? So test 1 at 23. When we hit login, so we have our header, we have our sidebar, beside our sidebar we have our content, right? So this is exactly how we want it. And we also need to put the conditional rendering, right? So we'll add the conditional rendering. We want all of this to render only if the user is valid. Is user is valid, we'll render this, or else we'll navigate to slash login, right? We'll hit save. And now inside our header.js we'll write the code, but first we need some icons. I got some icons from the internet. I'll paste it inside our src folder. These are some icons for our header and sidebar. You can get this folder from my repository link. First we'll replace this div with header tag, header, and inside the header tag we'll have two divs. So first div will have our logo, second div will have our heading and logout button, right? So first we'll import our logo. Import stats icon from so it's inside our icons folder called stats icon. We'll copy this and we'll paste it here, right? We'll hit save. Now we have our icon, and inside our second div we'll have our heading, a h1 tag which says stats, and below our heading we'll have a div for our logout button, a div which has a button which says logout. Hit save. Now we have all the elements that we need, but we need to style it. So we'll give everything a class name. We need to style it, right? So inside our header module.css, first we'll style our header will be display flex with the height of 80 pixel, and align items will be center, and we'll have a box shadow of 0.5 pixel, 3 pixel, 13 pixel blur, 0.5 pixel, and hash 70 70 70 to 6. Well, hit save. So now we have our box shadow for our header. Right, now we'll design our header logo div. Logo with margin left of 2.5 rem, so that it has some space, right? And next we'll style our header item, right? So this will also be display flex, and align items will be center, and width will be 100%. Let's save. So this width is 100%, right? We need to have some space between these letters, right? So now we'll style our heading. So heading will have a letter spacing of 1 pixel, so that it has some space, some breathing space. And font weight will be 500. We'll reduce the font weight and font size as well to 28 pixels. Let's save. Right, now it's looking good. We'll have some margin left of 2 rem, so that it has some space, right? And now we'll style our header button div. So margin left will be auto, so that it goes to this side, and margin right will give some margin right will be 5 rem, so that it doesn't stick to the end, right? And finally we need to style our button, right? So log out button will have a padding of 9 pixel and 18 pixel, let's say, so that our button is big. Border will be none, and border radius will be 5 pixel, right? We'll get some box shadow. So box shadow will be 5 pixel, 5 pixel, 15 pixel blur, 1 pixel, and 70 77 d 48. We'll have a darker box shadow, 74.8. Let's save. And we need to change the color of our button, right? So background color, so I have picked this color, e3 sorry e3 f2 ft. So this blue I have picked. We'll have the cursor as pointer, let's say, so that our cursor points to the button, right? Even without the background color it looks good, so we'll just comment this out, right? Okay, now we'll go inside our app.js. Everything is completed for our header, but now we need to create our sidebar, right? So inside our UI folder, we'll create another folder called sidebar, and we'll create a file called sidebar.js and another file called sidebar.module.css. So we'll make this a functional component as well. On sidebar, this will return a div which says sidebar. We'll import the styles. Import styles from /module.sidebar.module.css. We'll export default sidebar. Let's save. And now inside our app.js, we'll replace this with our sidebar component, sidebar, and we'll hit save. So nothing changes right now, but if we close others, and now if you go inside our sidebar, if you change this, the changes are reflected in the UI. So first, inside our sidebar, we'll have another div which has a nav tag. So this nav tag will have all the routing links within our sidebar. So first, inside our nav, we'll have a link tag from React Router DOM. So link to /profile, and we'll close this. We'll have profile as a text. So first we'll remove these links from profile page so that we don't get confused. So I'll just remove this and hit save. So like this, we'll have two more links. So the second link will be will navigate us to friends, and the third link will navigate us to about. Hit save. We'll make this as about, right? So right now when we click to friends, we are navigated to friends. We click about, we are navigated to about. And when we click profile, we are navigated to profile, right? So we need an icon and the text. We right now we only have the text. So we'll remove this text and have a div. So this div will have the icon and the text. So we'll have two more divs, for one for the icon, other for the text, right? So we need to import the icon, right? So we'll import, we need to use the icon, right? Profile icon first. Hit save. Here we'll type the text profile, right? And we'll copy this and paste it inside both of our other links. And we'll replace the icons. So the friends icon will be friends icon, and here it will be friends, and here it will be about, here it will be about icon, right? So we have our icons according to our links, right? We need to style this. So right now our structure is complete. I'll give all these element a class name. So right now I have given all the elements a class name, and now I will just put some styles for the elements of our sidebar. So these are some basic styles. You can get these styles from my repository link. Okay. So this sidebar is a toggleable sidebar. So we need to have a toggle button for this. Right now the state of this sidebar is closed. So when we click the toggle button, it will expand. So I'll add the toggle button in our sidebar now. And before adding our toggle button, so right now when I click to profile, we are navigated to profile. And when I click to uh, friends, we are navigated to friends, but we don't know that this option is selected. So we need to have an active state for this. So this needs to be highlighted when we are in this route, right? So we'll fix it now. First we'll create a block, and then we'll return delete. We need to add a parenthesis here, right? So right now we have a block. So first we'll use the use location from React Router DOM. Const location equals to use location. So we'll have a function, arrow function is active equals to, so this will have two arguments. The first one is current current path, and second argument is page path, right? So inside this arrow function we'll have a if condition. If current path is same as page path, then return styles dot active. So this is a class name, else return an empty string, right? So yeah, this is a class name, right? So inside our styles we have an active which changes the background color, right? If the user clicks on this, which is the current path, is same as the page path, then it will add this class name to this element, right? And this class name will change the background color, right? So that's simple. So now right now we need to add this function inside our JSX element, link element, right? So what we'll do is inside our class name of our link, so this will make this a template literal first, right? We'll make this template literal. So first class name is nav item, And for the second class name, we'll call the function is active, and we'll pass the location dot path name, which is the current path, and we'll pass the page path, and for the second argument we'll pass the page path, right? Profile. Save. And we'll just copy this and paste it inside all of the class name. First we'll make this template literal, and now we'll paste it. Same for the third one as well. Make this a template literal, paste it here, hit save. Right now if we reload, log in, so all the three are active. Why? Because we are passing the same arguments for all the three. For this we need to pass about, and for this we need to pass friends. Let's save. Right now it's in profile, so profile is active. If you click on friends, friends is active. If you click on about is active. Right, so we fix this. So now our active state works, right? So now we need to add the toggle button, right? I just followed WebDev Simplified's toggle button video. He just created a toggle button using CSS without JavaScript. So I'll just add that toggle button here. I'll also link the video so that you can refer how that toggle is made. So label, so he uses the checkbox, right? So label input type of checkbox. Hit save, close this. So we have our checkbox, and we'll give some class names, right? So class name will be styles dot hamburger menu, right? And for the input we don't give any styles, we'll just have one style, right? And we also need to add the style sheet for this. Right now our toggle doesn't work, we need to add it, right? So inside our sidebar I'll add some more styles which I just followed from WebDev Simplifies video. I'll copy the styles and I'll paste it here, save. So I have pasted some styles inside our sidebar.module.css and some styles inside our app.css. So I'll also paste the app.css styles. Control plus all, control plus paste, hit save. Right, so these are the styles that the hamburger menu uses, right? So right now if we close this, right now our toggle should be working, right? It's opening and closing, and we can also navigate to other pages, right? Yeah, so that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. We'll restructure some code. We'll add margin of 0 pixel, and inside our toast component we'll remove this timeout because it's not even necessary. We'll remove this and we'll remove this. So when use effect runs, we want to add opacity 1 class, right? So we want to set the opacity, so we can just set it like that without using timeout, right? So we'll just remove the timeout, hit save, and so we'll add another validation here, and we'll also see the timeout. So the toast component. So else we'll copy this, paste it here, true, make this true, and message will be invalid user name or password, type is danger. right? So we need to add this in the else case, right? When the username and password is not correct. So it shows up, and even though we have removed our timeout, it shows up perfectly. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you guys in the next one.